My name is Angela.
My name is Nicole.
And welcome to the Ominous Stitch podcast. Hello, Stitchers!
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the Ominous Stitch podcast. I'm giggling because Nicole did this
I had to grab my coffee.
little stealth move to grab her coffee before she did her, hey, everybody.
It wasn't in my hand.
We should switch just for like a Freaky Friday moment. Ooh, that goes with our movie for today.
Maybe next. We'll surprise people. We
Freaky.
won't tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. See if you can tell us apart. Can you guys tell our voices apart?
I can, but people.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
Right?
we're used to it. But yeah, people can't tell us apart sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is funny to me because I think our voices are very different.
I think so too. But
you
kids
have
are the
a
same way.
beautiful, lush, rich, deep voice.
You keep
Mine
saying
is like,
that.
"Ah."
No, you have a pretty voice, and mine's like the tinny old woman.
See, nobody ever likes their own.
No
voices.
one likes their own voice. Well, there are people out there that probably do, but
Yeah.
we don't. So
So we have a podcast and make you guys listen to us.
make you. No, we enjoy what we do. We love this. We love our content, and we love our followers. So
Yes, we do.
that's why we do it. We do this all for you
We
guys.
do this for you guys.
Yay.
So Nicole,
Yeah.
what has you in stitches this week?
Woo, woo. Okay. This is going to be released mid-September, but we're recording.
Spoiler alert: we record ahead.
Way ahead.
Well, we have some. Nicole has some work stuff,
Yeah.
and then just
Family,
life happening.
work.
So we try to record ahead
So
that
far
we
in
can have
advance.
some leeway in case any of us have to miss a week of recording.
Yeah. So, bear with us. But we just had a tropical storm.
Tropical storm Hillary.
Which was, by the way, nothing for us really. I mean, we had winter rain that was worse than this.
Yeah. Okay. So I grew up in Texas. You guys know that. And I've lived through my fair share of hurricanes. My parents I still have family that live in Texas. Shout out to Mike and Janet. Hi, Mike and Janet.
Hey.
They listen to the podcast every day. That's my dog. So that whacking that you hear is my
I was
dog's
like,
tail.
what's the construction sound in my headphone?
It's my dog's tail.
Hi,
she
Rosie.
is happy and getting loves from Nicole
Yeah.
because she loves Nicole very much.
Oh, I love Rosie so much.
But okay, so
Back
back
to the
on
story.
topic. So I grew up in Texas, hurricanes, right?
Hurricanes.
So I've lived through hurricanes.
Yes.
I know hurricanes.
You probably had way worse.
Yes. So when I found out that we were, my husband was teasing me like a week or so before the storm came. He follows this Southern California Weather Watch guy on Facebook. And so he was following him and he's like, hey, there's a hurricane coming. And I was like, oh, ha, 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 funny. And he's like, no. There's a hurricane coming. And I was like, what? And I started freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, if we have a hurricane here, I'm like, our shelter is not good enough for the girls to stay in. We're going to have to move everybody up to the barn, which means we're going to have to clear out the barn and make space for them and make sure that there's lots of food for them. I'm like, we're battening down the hatches. We have to remove everything that can get blown over because hurricanes are scary.
They
I
are.
was like, we have shutters on our windows. We're just going to have to tape up the ones that we don't. And, I was like planning, I was preparing, I was getting ready for this.
Right.
And I was like, I know we live in a wash plain. That's why we have our, what we call Clayton Ravine. Shout out to Back to the Future. Woo woo.
Hey.
But we have this kind of river that flows on our property whenever we get a lot of water because it flows down from the hillside and down through our property and out.
Yeah.
And it all channels that way. But I was like, well, it's going to be low point. It's going to be lots of mud. We're going to have lots of mudslides. We're going to be trapped in here. Oh, my goodness. My dog is all over the place
Everywhere.
today. So
Hi,
there are
Rosie.
people riding horses in the back, and she doesn't like people on horses. So she barks at them every single time.
That is a strange
Yeah.
thing not to like. That's
Right.
pretty funny.
Okay, back to topic. So I was terrified, and my husband's like, no, it's going to be fine.
Yes.
We're just going to get some rain. Not a big deal. And then it was a category 4 at its strongest.
Right. That was like still off the coast of Mexico.
Yeah,
So-
that was still in it, but it hadn't reached Mexico yet.
Yeah.
It was off the coast of
Yeah.
Mexico.
And it was huge. Sure.
Yeah, category 4 is
That's huge.
Yeah, that is a big storm.
Right.
That is a scary storm. Over 100-mile-an-hour winds, tons of rain, crazy storm. And I was like, this is not good. And then, of course, everyone was like, it's going to downgrade. And by the time it hits us, it's going to be a tropical storm. And I'm like, well, tropical storm can still have like 50 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts.
Sure.
And so I'm like, well, that's still a lot of wind. Plus with all the rain, I'm like, it's going to start raining and then not stop, which is what happened. It started raining on Sunday morning. For us, it started raining here about 7 in the morning.
Sure. Yeah, that was about us too.
Yeah, I was fortunate that I was able to take care of all the animal chores. And then the first drop of rain hit and I was like, whoop, and I ran inside.
Hey.
So I was very lucky for that. But yeah, so then it started raining and it just rained steadily, right? And we didn't have any wind. And I was like, damn it, my husband was right. So it wound up being, just a ton of rain.
Yeah, it poured hard.
Yeah, it poured hard. Ton of rain. Very little wind.
Yeah.
But here we had some of our roads washed out. In fact, the road that you came in this morning, that washed out. They just opened it today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, because there's a big construction project. And I have video, I'll show you video of the road being washed out, but a big portion of that road washed out and they just reopened it today.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there were a couple other roads that had washed out, but we were fine here. We just got a ton of rain.
Right.
My alpacas were mad because they're wet. And every once in a while they would come out of their shelter and walk around in the rain because they were just tired of hanging out together in that shelter. They just wanted some space.
I don't want to be near you.
And then they go back in there and be like, I'm all mad. But, they're
That's funny.
Everybody's fine.
Good.
Everybody made it through.
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah. So what happened at your house?
Oh, it's the same. There was just rain, but yeah, there was nothing. I just wanted to report, though, I heard this morning, which was kind of cool, that we received from the dams and on the water reservoirs, we received 3 billion gallons of water from the storm.
Oh my gosh. Like I knew we broke our year.
Yes.
Rainfall.
Yeah, but this was insane. So they're so happy with it because they're able to save all this water. It said if you average this out, it would serve about 69,000 people for a whole year.
Wow.
So there you go. We got a lot of water and that was awesome. So
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I got to turn off the irrigation and save some money on the water bill.
Exactly. Yeah. So, hey, I thought it was really helpful. I didn't see any problems. They closed schools down. They closed work. They were like, work from home.
Anticipating that the day after was going to be really bad.
No, it was drizzly and then sunny.
Yeah. It affected some of our schools. So it was good that it was shut down because the ways into, there's an elementary school that you pass on your way here that because of the road closures.
Oh, they couldn't get into.
Yeah, they couldn't get
That's
into
what
it.
I thought. I thought maybe but you're not part of LAUSD, but
no, they did close down LAUSD. Yeah,
that's why. And I was guessing maybe some schools like yours couldn't get to. There was some, maybe travel issues with some roads, but we were fine.
I think at the junior high there were some, or it could have been some other schools in the Hart district. So we have our elementary schools have a different school district than our junior highs and high schools. So I have 2 school districts right now that my kids are in.
Ah, so confusing.
So my one of the school districts, and I think it was my junior high girl, my oldest, who's in junior high, a couple of the schools had some flood damage because of the rain and, old patches in the ceiling. Not holding it because it's California. It doesn't rain that much here. But yeah, so.
Okay. We'll see. So we're all good, everybody.
Yeah, we're good. We survived the tropical storm.
The hype. I had my relatives.
It was hyped up a lot. I was kind of
much.
I was slightly mildly annoyed that my husband was so right. But I mean, he always is right. That's why it was like, you're right. Okay. You're always right. You're always right. He's always right. And so you know how that can be a little annoying because I'm like, not that I wanted to be right in this instance, because I am so glad that it was as mild as it was, because I didn't want more damage to happen on our farm. But it was just like, you're always right.
No, Matt and I were like, no, this is going to be fine. And relatives were like, oh, be careful, get your gas, do these things. And we're like, okay, we'll do it just in case. But we were pretty sure.
Toilet paper and water shortage again.
Well, we went to the store. We were just getting pizza. We had swim lessons the day before. and we were getting pizza for the kids. And where we get pizza was on the way home, and the whole parking lot, it was like a Smart and Final Trader Joe's parking lot.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly where you were.
Okay, yeah. It was packed. Like cars in the whole parking lot and behind in the street. Like, people, this is stupid. Why are you you're panicking as if
like
this
the
was
rain
COVID
is going to
or
last
something.
a day.
A day. You're going to be able to get groceries the day after.
I'm going to run out of toilet paper in the one day. I'm like, dude, you're misusing your toilet paper if that's going to happen.
Seriously. Yeah. It was, people were freaked out because the media, again, they just blew it out of proportion. It's a storm. It was our first hurricane, quote unquote, but we were fine.
Yeah, we were fine.
Yeah.
And there was there was flood damage. But ultimately it was good.
It was fine.
The other fun thing that happened that day is my stitch.
Yes. What's got you in stitches?
We had an earthquake.
I saw so many memes that were like, oh, hurricane come through. Nope. California's earthquakes are waiting, can't be shown up. So
there was like a 5.1. I heard it was 5.1 to 5.5.
Yeah.
Earthquake. About 40 something miles away from me. It's
Ojai.
Closer to you.
Yeah.
Was it? I think Ojai's closer to where you live.
I don't know.
Not
northwest.
Yeah. So by the time we felt it, it was, probably like a 3 or something.
Yeah.
Cause we definitely felt it. My husband and I were sitting on the couch and I thought the dog was thumping or pushing on the couch or something, but she wasn't even on the couch. She was, laying on the floor or something. And I was like, is my husband wiggling? No. And then we looked at each other and he's like, earthquake? And I was like, yeah, I think so. Earthquake. Yeah. And then our chandeliers were swaying and we're like, oh yeah, definitely an earthquake. And so we go to check on the kids and they're completely oblivious. I looked at my youngest and I was like, did you guys feel the earthquake? And she's like, earthquake. Oh my gosh. I'm like, babe, it already happened. You don't need to freak out. It's okay.
Just the thought of it.
Done.
That's hilarious. No, we were playing D&D.
Yay!
And we're at the table, and then Funkos started falling off the shelves.
Oh no!
And we're like, "This is an earthquake," and we felt it. So we ran to the door frame. It was fine. It was a few seconds longer, and we were worried that it was going to hit again. So that's why we were cautious. But
yeah, because there were a bunch of aftershocks, but we didn't feel.
I didn't feel those. We definitely felt the first one.
Yeah.
And we freaked out about that more than the storm. So
because the storm, you're like, okay, it's raining.
Yeah,
it's raining. It's pouring.
But earthquakes are scary sometimes here, especially. You never know.
You never know. Yeah. In 94, there was a big earthquake close to where we live, the Northridge quake. Yeah. And that's where Nicole actually works, is in Northridge, CSUN.
Whoop.
So my husband grew up close to there. He grew up in the valley close to Northridge. And so he felt the quake. And I think I may have told this story before on the podcast, but this is a moment of, I guess, precognition, Kate, that my husband and his brother had, because they were young. They were, teenagers or at the time. And so they're in their bedroom. They shared a bedroom. They decided to not sleep in their bedroom that night. I think they were probably just watching something or playing video games or something up late. And so they fell asleep on the couches in their living room.
Oh.
Had they slept in their bedroom, a big tree fell and crashed through.
Oh my gosh.
It would have pinned them in their beds.
Oh, that's scary.
Right?
Weird.
And so because they chose to sleep in the living room, they avoided that tragedy. It could have been a tragedy.
Crazy.
I could not have had a husband at that point,
Weird. Maybe someone was divine intervention too.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, earthquakes are scarier. So there you go.
They are. Because you can't see them coming.
No, you can't. They just come right at you. But who else comes right at you?
I don't know. Who, Sasquatch?
Yes!
Yay!
The topic of our episode.
Yay, Sasquatch. And Nicole is making the most beautiful shawl, so I can't wait to hear about that.
Yes.
So we got some Bigfoot, we have some shawls, and we have some Freaky Friday happening today. So shall we get stitching?
Yeah, let's get stitching. So by the the time this episode releases, my good friend will have this shawl in her hands, hopefully.
Yay.
Yeah, so I'm making this as a birthday present. It's a from stitchingtogether.com, a stitching/together.com website. It's a free pattern. It says it's easy, and yeah, it is, but
there's some tricks that you got to be aware of.
Yes, it's insane. So it's called the Cedar Creek Easy Crochet Shawl Pattern. And when I saw the photo of it, I was like, yes, I have to make this.
It's very pretty. And I love the color that you chose. She thought she was using black, but it's really like a super deep forest green.
Sure.
So that it looks like it's black.
Shiny, yeah.
It looks like it's black, but it's definitely got some green to it.
Got
it's
a little green
so
element.
Pretty.
It's cool. And so what it consists of, it's a lot. I think there's over 140 something rows because it's a big shawl. I'm going to get down to it. Here we go.
It's so cozy.
Yeah, I thought this would be good. I mean, obviously, California, we're not going to be able to use it probably until November, December. But
yeah, you can use it for like 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, there you go. But it is pretty. So all it consists of in the first 100 and I'd say 6 rows is half double crochets. That's it. You increase, when you increase, because you want it to kind of do this asymmetrical triangle, you're going to be increasing the row in the same kind of area. So like when you go through, you turn, you do half double crochets, you go back and you increase. And then right there, when you increase, when you're going back, you increase again. So it's always going to kind of create this diagonal.
Increase on the same
side.
So you're making that diagonal line.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And the other side's straight up. It's supposed to be. That's where I had problems. I finished my half double crochets and then it was okay, now you've got to chain 1, increase, and then chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. So it makes this cool pattern, right? And then you repeat to the end, you turn around, you do a chain 1, half double crochet. And this is where I had Angela's help because I skipped row 107.
Oh no, oh no.
I don't know how I did that, but then I came back to it. It's fine. But the row 108, you've got to do a chain 1, half double crochet, and then you half double crochet in the chain 1 space.
So a half double crochet and then the next half double crochet before you do another chain 1.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then you chain 1 and you skip 1. And that's the whole pattern to the end. And for some reason, I was like, what does it mean with the chain 1 space? I don't have that. And it's because, again, I totally skipped 107.
Where you start the chain ones.
I was like, what is that? So I got that. And then you just keep kind of doing that same pattern where you do an increase at this beginning where you're doing the asymmetrical side. You chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. That's all it is. And you just keep going, you go back and you increase. And then it starts to go back and repeats and says, okay, and then in between these cool half double crochet skips, you just half double crochet across the way again.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a moss stitch, but you're using half double crochets instead of a single crochet.
That's what it said. Yeah. And I was like, oh, duh, we did the moss stitch way back.
Know this.
So, so that's all you've got to do. I'm right now, it's not finished. I will probably, like I said, finish by this episode releases. I'll take a photo, I promise. But it goes up to row 142.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm on row 122.
Oh, so you only have 40 more or 20 more rows.
Because math. Yes, I only have 20 more rows, but it just keeps, it keeps increasing. So it gets longer and longer. So it just takes a little more time. I'm going to get there, I promise. But this is really pretty. I'll take a picture. Like I said, I'll put it on our socials and I'll link this free pattern on our website. It's gorgeous. If you have time, do it because it's going to be super easy and pretty.
It's very pretty. I might do that with my alpaca fiber.
Yes.
That one would be a really pretty one.
And you
to
don't
do
have
with
to
the
dye
alpaca.
it either. It's pretty color. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, I've been processing. So if you are on my Facebook or Instagram, you will see I posted some pictures of some of my yarn that I've made. So this is all the fleece that I'm using right now is not from my girls. It is a practice fleece that I bought so I could learn how to spin and learn how to work with the fiber. And it's not perfect, but I'm figuring it out. I'm getting there, and it's super soft.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing single ply because it's pretty thick ply.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get it thinner, then I might start double plying it because that's the standard is a double ply in alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
So I might double ply some of the new yarn that I'm making, but we'll see. I'm
It's
trying to
really
get my
pretty.
spin consistent.
And it comes from your own alpaca.
Yeah, it will. This one's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to start processing my own
Yes.
alpaca like now.
You're
so I'm very
practicing. Okay.
exciting. Yeah, this is my practice fleece.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yay.
it's
But
so
yeah,
good.
make the shawl.
I will.
Yay.
It's very pretty. I think that would be so nice in alpaca too. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And you can change colors. I just like how it looked in the solid color. But
Yeah.
It's
No,
gorgeous.
that's good. Okay.
Yay! Well, I'm excited.
Are we ready to put on our hunting pants?
Yes.
And
No, don't shoot Bigfoot, but
don't shoot Bigfoot. No.
Yeah,
You
but
shoot him with your camera.
you can hunt him with your eyes.
Yeah, hunt him
Okay.
with your eyes. Go Bigfoot. Let's go on a Bigfoot hunt. Okay, Stitchers. So I thought it would be super fun to just talk about some Bigfoot sightings.
Yay! I'm so
So
excited.
we learned last year. It's been like
Holy
a year,
cow.
guys. So last year we talked about who Bigfoot is.
Yes.
Kind of some theories on why Bigfoot is, where he came from, but today I'm going to talk about some sightings. I think we talked about I'm done giving you guys background.
You want to dive in?
I want to dive in.
Woo,
I want to
woo.
tell some stories because this is what I find fascinating. I came across a map and I'll show it to Nicole and we'll have to link that onto our,
for
our
sure.
our videos. But just the amount of sightings, it's just a map that has blue dots everywhere that somebody has reported a sighting. And a lot of people don't even report sightings. Native Americans have this whole superstition where they don't even talk about the hairy man or Sasquatch or whatever they have language for because they respect him as a being and they don't want to,
Right. It's huge, and then it's a living creature. Why would you want to mess with it?
Right. So anyway, just the sightings that have been reported on this map, it's like the whole United States is blue. All of Canada is blue just from all these little dots. I'm like, there are thousands upon thousands of sightings that we've had in the past 100 years. You know? And there's been sightings way before that. And
Well,
so I'm
with
like,
social media now and being able to share things, I think that's a lot more that contributes than way before. I'm sure, like you said, I'm sure a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, there were probably more sightings.
right.
And it was more wild and rural.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They had more places to hide, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. But now that we have all this technology everywhere, people are getting helicopter shots of Bigfoot.
Yeah,
They're getting drone
drones.
shots of Bigfoot. And I have some of that in my...
Yay!
So we'll link lots of videos. There's going to be lots of videos that are going to be linked for this. But stop me if you've heard any of these stories because some of them are going to be very familiar to you. Some of them might not be. So we'll see. Okay. So this first group of sightings I got from outsideonline.com. This article from Outside Online is about the 10 most convincing Bigfoot sightings of all time. And let's see how many of these you guys know about. Okay. So arguably the most famous and influential Bigfoot footage is the 1967 film shot by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin in Northern California, Bluff Creek. Everybody knows about this Bigfoot. They've seen the video. It is irrefutable proof. There are skeptics out there that are like, there's no way. But then there have been a lot of people that are like, no. If you watch the way that Sasquatch moves, and they believe it was a female because you can see the breast swing. I mean, they've analyzed that to death, and nobody can say that it's
Hoaxed.
It's hoaxed.
Yeah.
They all are like, you know what? There's something to it. You know, there's something to that. So it's really exciting and really interesting. So the Bigfoot walk, and that's the biggest part of that, is nobody can mimic that walk because it's a flat foot. The gait is different. It's not a human gait. The Bigfoot walk it depicts has been parodied by many, but never truly replicated.
Yes.
One of my favorite parodies is on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, don't watch that.
Oh, How I Met Your Mother has become like my sleep show. We turn it on when we go to bed at night, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, I know this episode, just because I've seen it so many times. Right?
Okay.
So you can fall asleep to it and you know exactly what's happening,
right?
Even with your eyes closed.
Everybody's got one of those shows, right?
So yeah, one of my favorite moments is when Marshall starts to work at G&B Bank. And he calls Barney on the phone and he's like, have you seen a Sasquatch sighting? And then he walks by Barney's window doing the walk.
I love it.
Even with this enhanced image, it's hard to tell if it's a person in a gorilla suit or the real deal. I think it's real. I don't think it's a person in a gorilla suit because they haven't been able to fabricate it, the way the hair moves, the way the musculature and the body moves. It hasn't been replicated, and people have tried to death on this. So I'm a believer anyway of Bigfoot. I believe it's real.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm still a skeptic of that one. I don't know
why.
why.
Patterson-Gimlin film?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. I'm terrible. I believe in Sasquatch, everybody. I still believe it. But that one specifically.
You're from the Pacific Northwest. You have to.
I know. But yeah, I'm still a little skeptic about that. But there are others that I'm not. So.
Okay, this next one is the Marble Mountain Man or the Marble Mountain Sasquatch. Okay. And I have
I've seen this one.
Yeah. So I have video of this guy too moving. So we'll link that too. But this is just a still frame of him.
Right.
So look.
Yes.
This is the image of him. It's kind of like an outlined shadow. And you'll see. So a youth group was camping in the Marble Mountain Wilderness, California, when leader Jim Mills noticed a strange-looking creature skulking along a ridge nearby. He filmed it for nearly 7 minutes, making the somewhat grainy footage the longest video of an alleged Bigfoot sighting.
Right. So that one I watched. I think it was funny. I saw that on TikTok again. They redid it and they reviewed it. And I watched it a lot. And I read comments, obviously, and it is hard to see because it's so far away.
Yeah.
It very well could be just a big guy walking with a backpack, but
yeah. So the skeptics that I've heard have claimed that it's a person with a hoodie.
Yeah.
The backpack shape is I guess it could be like if you had a big pack on, it could be a backpack, but it looks like it would extend over your head. So maybe it's like a pack roll on top of his head. Mm-hmm. But I've heard it's a person in a hoodie with the sleeves really long and they're just dangling. And I'm like, I don't know. It's a very odd shape for a human.
From far away, because of how big it is in comparison, it is pretty huge.
Yeah. So another part of this footage that they have is they did film before then. They found a nest.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I heard about that. Yeah.
So I have video of that nest too, which we will link in the website.
Okay.
It's on this longer collection of videos of Bigfoot footage.
Okay.
But and it has the whole video of the Sasquatch walking up and down the ridge. So things that they refute about this is they think that the Sasquatch walking along the ridge didn't seem as sure-footed as what a Sasquatch could be because it was choosing its path down carefully, where typically you think of a Sasquatch just being able to walk.
Barrels straight through. Yeah.
But they did find this massive nest where the trees, and these are big, thick trees.
That's true.
Were snapped.
Right.
And they aren't like, a couple inch round trees. These are, close to like 7 or 8 inches in diameter. So you can't just snap them. They're a lot harder to snap. But these big, thick trees and brush and bush, and they built this nice, big kind of habitat and that you can crawl into. And one of the big boys that was on this camping trip crawled into it, and he was dwarfed by the size of this nest that they found. It was really cool. So, I mean, there are those things. Who knows? But this is a really famous.
Yes.
And it's pretty recent.
Yes.
It was at 2003 or something like that.
Yeah. So technology was a little better, but still not perfect.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. So this next one, we have a footprint. So that's a lot of evidence that people gather are feet,
big footprints.
Right? Big footprints. Hence Bigfoot. That's where he get his name, is from the footprints that they find. So British explorer Eric Earl Shipton snapped this photo while trekking through the Himalayas in 1951, alleging that the footprint belonged to a Yeti. In 2014, Christie's auction house in London capitalized on the worldwide interest in Bigfoot and sold the original photo for nearly $5,000.
What?
And in this photo, it's
so much money.
It's a foot that, it's very wide. And I mean, it's very wide and it has definite toe prints, which is what they look for. And for size comparison, he has a pickaxe next to it. The depression in the snow is quite deep, especially in the heel. So that leads us to believe that it leads with its heel and then puts its foot down.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say you could try to argue that it's some like person's foot, like a shoe, but the toe prints are so accurate.
Yeah, the width of it would make you think that it could be like a bear, but it doesn't have claw marks, and a bear would leave claw marks.
That's right.
And it's got too many toes to be a bear.
Yes, too many toes. That's the biggest part.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other animal could do that?
I have a Yeti. I don't know. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Nothing else would leave that footprint. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah.
See, that makes me more like, oh, that's so like mysterious.
Right. I like the footprints too.
Yeah.
And I like sometimes they'll leave presents or they'll leave handprints or they'll leave impressions of different things or they'll break things.
They break things. Yeah. Really high up.
Yeah. The wood breaks. Every time I go camping and I'm in a wooded area.
Do you look for that?
I look for that.
Oh,
yeah. I look for
so
tree
cool.
breaks to see. I'm like, ooh, were they in here?
Yeah.
And sometimes I get freaked out because I like want to look in the tree line and I'll get freaked out because I'm like, no, if they're here, I don't want to see them. But I do. And I
do, but you don't.
Right.
At a safe distance.
And so, we go camping a lot in the Sierra Nevadas. And so there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings in there. So anyway, and there's this little town that they have Bigfoots painted all over the place. And you'll see that all up and down the wooded forests of California. You'll see people have Bigfoot paintings everywhere. And you're just like, there's Bigfoot here somewhere. So it's really fun. Okay, so this next one that I have is called the Independence Day film. A beast was
aliens,
caught...
right?
No, we'll get to aliens.
Okay.
A beast was caught in a remarkably clear view that shows an alleged adult Bigfoot. Ooh. So this is a super clear photo.
Yes.
Right? Do you see it?
Yes.
It's definitely
it's
bipedal.
Standing up.
It's walking. And it's walking through the woods.
I haven't seen this one.
With a cub.
Yeah.
They think it's holding something in tow. The filmmaker and exact location are unknown, and many skeptics claim that there's a telling visible seam of a gorilla suit. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's a hoax. Everyone's ready to say it's a hoax.
Well, yeah, that they don't want to recognize anything different. And I did read this actually, that the brain is very hard to change. Once you've made up your mind about something, there's some synapses in there that like, nope, I can't believe it. So I get
so you don't want to change your perception. You don't want to change your reality.
Because you're happy and blissfully unaware.
Blissfully unaware. It's the whole thing with all the alien footage that's come out. And everyone's like, yep, there's aliens.
Yep.
And people are like,
nope.
Nah.
What's new? Yeah.
It's so crazy.
But you won't cancel our student debt. That's what I hear.
Oh, my gosh. It's so funny. So we have in Provo Canyon in Utah, there have been several Bigfoot sightings. So I have a couple of stories from that.
Okay.
On October 2012. So
not that much
that's,
time.
11 years ago? Almost.
Good job.
Yay,
you did it.
A group of siblings hiking in Provo Canyon thought they spotted a bear in the woods and started filming. This video is crazy. When the creature stood up on two legs, the hikers ran, abruptly ending the shaky video. A year later, the siblings launched a Kickstarter campaign to investigate other Utah Bigfoot sightings.
Sure.
So this video is really cool. So it's a couple of people. You can hear them talking. They're standing there very still, filming this big black mass in the middle of the woods, and the woods are the leaves have changed, so they're all like kind of a light rusty brown color. So this black image is very clear against that, and its back is turned to them, and it's sitting there, and it's kind of reaching side to side and foraging. That's what it looks like, and it does look like a bear because of the way it's just sitting there. And it kind of looks like it's hunched over, but then all of a sudden it stands up and starts to turn, and that's all you see, because at that point they drop.
Oh, sure, I would do
run.
it. I would run
book
too.
it out of there. They're like, ah.
Yeah.
So, but it's a cool video, and I'm
Nice.
sure it would scare the poop out of me if I was there.
Yes.
This is a video from Provo Canyon.
Okay.
I'm going to show the video to
Yay!
Nicole.
I get to see a video. 7.6 million views.
Yeah. Do you see it? They're zooming in.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that is.
And they take off running.
I would run for my life.
Yep. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's not a bear.
Right? So that video was posted on October 30th of 2012, and it has amassed more than 7.6 million views on YouTube. What did we just say that you saw?
Yeah,
It was
7.6
million.
Mm-hmm.
According to the account uploader Beard Card, the pair were on a camping trip hoping to get a closer look at a deer on a hill. On our way up, we thought we saw a bear until the monster stood up and looked right at us. Beard Card wrote in the video description, "We ran straight to the car after that, leaving our tent and everything behind, and it's probably still up there."
Oh, way to go. Because then people are going to be like, what happened to those people?
Right. The Provo Canyon video is short and inconclusive. Eric Rickart, curator of the vertebrate zoology at the Natural History Museum of Utah, told Fox 13 News Utah after a more recent alleged sighting in 2019 that the science didn't support a Bigfoot in the state.
What?
Whatever.
What science? Tell me exactly why.
Right? It's just because they haven't seen one in real life, so we don't have one. What's the likelihood that there are big animals that have gone undetected by scientists and by trained observers? They haven't been.
So the likelihood is high because you go into the Amazon and you find new things all the time. Because,
All the time.
Yeah. So what's the saying? Why wouldn't you do that here? Are you constantly, every single second of the day, searching for things?
Right. And the ocean too. I mean,
Yes.
like there are so many big creatures
Ocean
in the
scares
ocean.
the crap out of me.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
Yeah. No.
So this
No,
person
come
is
on, people.
There are lots of things to discover, particularly in the natural world, but they don't take the form of giant apes running around in largely settled areas of the world. Yes, they do.
No,
We
don't
didn't
say
know
that.
about silverback gorillas until
Right?
the 19th century.
Yeah.
Or 20th century.
20th century.
Yeah. 1900s. Oh, man. But there's a couple of Provo Canyon Bigfoots, and we'll get to that one.
Okay.
You actually showed me this.
Did I really?
think.
Probably.
I think.
I
Or
show
maybe
you a
I've
lot.
pulled this photo before.
Okay.
But this is in 2007. Hunter Rick Jacobs captured some of the most famous Bigfoot images to date with a camera mounted to his tree in Pennsylvania's Allegheny National Forest.
Mm-hmm.
His camera also captured clear photos of bear cubs, offering evidence that the unidentified animal was not ursine or bear-like.
Right.
But skeptics believe the animal is just a bear sick with mange.
Yes.
No, I think
No.
we've talked about this guy
Yeah, I
before.
agree. I think we have, because the arms. That is,
The arms
that
are
is
not
a bear arm.
bears. It is
The way it's hunched over, the way the limbs are. No, that is
the limbs.
not.
Okay, it definitely has. So it looks like it's on threes. It's bending over.
It's
to
bending
pick
over.
something up.
Yes.
Those are two clearly legs.
Yes.
They are not bear legs.
No, those
at
are
all.
really
Those are
long
like human legs.
Very long, hairy legs.
Yeah. It is not a bear with mange. The body shape is all wrong.
No.
The legs don't look like bear
Unless
legs.
it was like radioactive and it stretched things out. No.
Yeah, the limbs are way too long.
Yeah.
It's definitely
spooky.
right. It's so cool. Ugh, I love that one. I
Yeah.
love that picture. Okay, here we have another footprint. Locals in Johnstown, Pennsylvania were baffled by a footprint measuring 17.75 inches
Whoa.
found near a residential home in 1980. Can you imagine that by your house? You'd be like, ah!
Nope, I think I'm going to move now.
Oh my goodness.
I'm cool with coyotes passing by, but with a big footprint. No.
Oh, so I'm glad you mentioned coyotes, because it's something that I wasn't going to bring up, but now I'm going to, because you mentioned coyotes.
Yeah.
There are theories, because a lot of times when you'll hear, they have recordings of Bigfoot making howl noises,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Or
There's
when
so many of
Bigfoot
those.
researchers go out, they will let out a big quote unquote Bigfoot howl,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is, oh, it's like a big, long,
It's really loud.
scary
and, yeah.
sound. And they'll also do wood knocking, because that's another way that we think Bigfoot talk to each other.
Communicate,
Through wood knocking. So a lot of times when that happens, it will set off what we call the alarm, where you hear coyotes answer back, or you hear wolves answer back, right?
Right.
And so theories are that either Bigfoot and coyotes hunt together. So it could be that the wolves or coyotes will follow the Bigfoot and clean up whatever messes or scraps the Bigfoot leaves behind. Or they do it the other way around, where Bigfoot will follow the hunting pack.
Whoa.
And then because they're much bigger than the coyotes, they'll get in there and steal whatever
It's like
kill.
sharks.
Yeah, they'll steal whatever kill that, because that was something that humans used to do.
That's right.
They used to follow packs of wolves, let them make the kill, and then go in there and scare them off and take the kill. Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's theories that Bigfoot and coyotes and or wolves work together in that way. So it's almost like they have pet dogs.
Ah, wild dogs.
Isn't that crazy?
I love it.
So anyway, that was a little side note, but it's still on topic. So that's good for us.
She's excited. So excited. She's doing her happy dance.
Happy dance. Okay. So they found in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, they found a footprint measuring 17.75 inches found near a home in 1980. According to the Associated Press, the footprint coincided with reports of strange noises and a strong but unusual odor in the area.
Yeah, they got a smell.
Yeah, they have a smell.
Yeah.
It's BO mixed with just kind of
woods.
Yeah, like death and just very, 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 very stinky.
Yeah, they don't care about showers.
Well, I mean, no. And they have all that hair that I'm sure gets very like moldy and musty, because they live in a lot of wet environments, you know?
Sure.
So, and I'm sure they have like some kind of a musk or something too that just they naturally release as well.
Body odor.
Body odor. B-O. Okay. So do you see right here? We have another Bigfoot right here.
Okay.
In 1994, former U.S. Forest Patrolman Paul Freeman claimed he saw a family of Bigfoots in Washington's Blue Mountains.
Ooh.
The video is shaky and grainy, but has been deemed the real deal by so-styled Bigfoot experts. Bigfoot sightings in Washington state parks are a steady source of intrigue for fans of the elusive simian. Yeah. Washington is full of
so much forest. So that makes sense.
So it's heavily wooded. There's a lot of big game.
Yes.
There's a lot of natural berries and food for Bigfoot, because we think that they're omnivores like us. You know, they eat meat, they eat fish. There's lots of fish in Washington.
That's right.
They eat fruit and berries and nuts and, plants. Yeah. So they eat everything. Omnivores. Ha.
So he found a family.
Like, we only see one in this picture.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But yeah, he found a family. So
did he find like multiple kids?
I don't know. I think
Bigfoot?
Maybe, a tall, a small, and then an even smaller one. That would be a family for me. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. So obviously he found a family of Bigfoots. I don't have the video. I just have a still frame, and it only shows one Bigfoot in the still frame.
It's a family called Big Feet.
Meet the Big Feets.
Big Feet.
Big Feets. Okay. So this is more information about this.
Oh, good.
So this, they call it a skunk ape.
Right.
Right. In the South, we call them skunk apes. Skunk apes are supposedly swamp-dwelling versions of Bigfoot that are rumored to roam the southeastern U.S. And on October 28th of 2013, a YouTube account named Josh Highcliffe uploaded one of the most popular skunk ape videos. In it, the cameraman films a potential skunk ape foraging in a Mississippi swamp. It looks like a gorilla squatted down. Big, broad shoulders, little peaked head, and it's pulling off chunks of wood that seem to demonstrate extreme strength. Then, all of a sudden, it stands up, and it's got these long legs, Meldrum said, impressed by the video, but yet to examine it in detail.
So I just watched it real quick.
Yeah, he just watched it real quick. The last shot of the creature in the video comes just as it stands up, similar to the 2012 Provo Canyon video. Unfortunately, people filming Bigfoot have a tendency to suddenly jerk the camera and run away.
Well, yeah. Holy cow.
Right? Just as they're about to get a good view of one. Understandably fearful if the creature exists, but convenient if they're creating a hoax. Wah, wah.
That's true.
This is one of many reasons why skeptics decree such videos and ask believers to produce a body. Show me the body.
Yeah, show me evidence. You know what though? That is kind of a good point though. If you were really researching Bigfoot, couldn't you have like a good camera set up somewhere? Like let's say you tie it to a tree and tie a bunch of cameras to a tree and just set them up overnight and where you thought you would see it, or and then the next day, hopefully it's still there because you probably camp really close. Go grab them.
Yeah.
Just like the Pennsylvania man did.
Right.
So.
But yeah, why don't we have more of those?
Yes. Or like a drone just chilling and waiting, I don't know.
So one thing that sparked my whole Bigfoot interest, and I wish that I had this video, it's a documentary that I saw, and a lot of Bigfoot researchers say that this guy is full of hokum, but he has this whole area in Canada, which Canada is another huge hotspot for Sasquatch. So he has this whole area in Canada, and he's been tracking 2 family groups. So he knows 2 family groups. He knows their patterns. He knows where they go. And it's a documentary. And they said that he's had hoaxes before, and they've produced some evidence of hoaxes that he's produced. So that's why they're like, oh, we can't believe him.
Yeah.
But this documentary that he put forth was crazy to me. I was like, I don't understand how they're calling this a hoax. And if it is, then it's very well crafted, because he takes a camera crew through the hunting grounds of one of the families that he's kind of gotten to know, and he knows where they're going and he knows what they're doing. And he will show them structures that they've built, and he leaves offerings for them. He's like, they like apples. So if I leave them an apple, I will yell out gift, and they know. And he's like, he'll go back and check, and the gift is gone. He has video evidence of him sitting in an area where he left different gifts around him. And he was just sitting there. It's nighttime and he's around a fire, and you'll see hand-like things come out and grab a gift out of the dark. And you'll notice that there will be an apple there, and then it's gone. And it's silent. You can't see anything. And then every once in a while, they'll tell him to leave. They'll throw things at him or, so he's like, okay. And then he'll leave.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he has video of a face of a Sasquatch, like just in a tree. And it's like a clear video of this face. I'm like, it looks real to me.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know how this is a hoax and how he faked all this. Because a lot of the evidence that he presented, now, of course, this is his film and it's his documentary. So, whatever.
He can do what he wants with it. Yeah.
Right. This isn't some amateur just accidentally coming across shooting something. So that's why I left it out. I can't remember what the film is called. I think it's Bigfoot or something.
Okay.
And I watched it on probably, I would say maybe like Amazon or it was a streaming service. It was probably Amazon Prime. It was probably free on Prime or something.
Which that's natural. Okay.
Right. So anyway, it looked so real to me. So I can't say that it is, but it looked real. I'm like, gosh, this is
you believe it.
Crazy evidence. So I don't know. You guys can watch it or not watch it or whatever you want to do. But producing a body, yes, everyone wants to see one in real life. We get it. But,
that reminds me about my sea monsters. Same thing.
Right? Everyone wants to see a body.
Everyone wants that hunted.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like the mystery.
Yeah. Doubting Thomases until I put my finger, All right.
Even then, watch to be like, oh no, that's not real.
Right. So another Utah hills near Provo Canyon. This is another Sasquatch sighting. So they spotted a large animal in the woods. He approached, a hiker spotted a large animal in the woods. He approached the animal and it stood up on its two legs and started throwing rocks. So that's another thing that Sasquatch will do is they'll throw rocks. So I came across a ton of stories of people minding their own business, and usually they're hiking like in some obviously wooded area. A lot of times there's high cliffs on either side, and they're walking towards some kind of stream or some kind of water, and they'll get rocks thrown at them. That happens all the time.
Not cool.
In a bunch of these. Yeah. And they won't necessarily see the Sasquatch, but they'll be like, yeah.
I don't want to get pelted with rocks.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the most famous abduction story ever.
Abduction?
Abduction. Yes.
Maybe
Are you ready for this?
I don't know this.
Even people think that this is not real.
Okay.
They don't believe this guy. Albert Ostman. Okay. He was born in 1893 and died in 1975.
Okay.
He was a Canadian prospector who reported that he was abducted by a Sasquatch and held captive for 6 days.
Wow.
He stated that the event took place near Toba Inlet, British Columbia in 1924. Here's the story. And this comes from Wikipedia.
Hey.
Yay, Wikipedia. In 1924, Albert Ostman, a lumberjack and woodsman, went to the area for a vacation. Ostman had heard stories about the man-beasts who supposedly roamed these woods but refused to believe them. As Ostman lay asleep one evening, a Sasquatch purportedly picked him up in his sleeping bag, picked him up in his sleeping bag, and carried him off while he was in his sleeping bag. Ostman was carried in his sleeping bag across country for 3 hours by the Sasquatch.
What?
The Sasquatch dropped Ostman down on a plateau. Standing around him was a family of 4 of the creatures. Albert was kept captive by the Sasquatch. The captors were 2 adults and 2 children, which held Ostman captive for 6 days. One of the Bigfoots was reported as being 8 feet tall. Ostman did not use his gun on them, as they had done no harm. Yay! Don't shoot Bigfoot.
Don't you shoot him.
He stayed with the Bigfoot family for a week. Ostman ate sweet-tasting grass that they gave him. They were like keeping him as a pet.
As a pet, yeah.
According to Ostman, the female Sasquatch washed and stacked leaves. Albert escaped. This is a funny part of the story to me. Albert escaped by making the large male Sasquatch groggy by feeding him some snuff.
What?
He fed him tobacco.
Oh my
Wacky tobacco. No, fed him tobacco.
No, regular tobacco.
Regular tobacco.
Oh my gosh.
And he made the Sasquatch sick. That's not a nice, like he didn't kill him, but he made him sick, right?
Yeah.
He did not tell his story for more than 24 years after it happened for fear of being thought of as crazy.
Of course.
And people think that he is
Still,
crazy.
Yep, because he did it. Yeah, see? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right? As more Sasquatch stories appeared in the press, Albert decided to tell his story to a local newspaper, The Province, in 1957. In 2007, the skeptic... Here we go. Skeptic pants, right?
Okay.
In 2007, the skeptic Joe Nicole characterized the story as more likely the result of imagination than of recollection. Critics of Ostman note that he did not make the event public until 1957, 33 years after he said it took place.
Yeah, of course. He waited.
He was scared,
Yeah.
right? Primatologist John Napier states that Ostman's story fails to convince me primarily on the grounds of the limited food resources available.
Well, they live in their own. What? Man.
If we know very little about Bigfoot, how can he say,
you have no
there's
food.
no food for Bigfoot? Obviously, he fed the Bigfoots were feeding him,
Yes.
and he's like, well, they fed me grass. You
Yeah.
know, that's probably what they were eating at the time.
Yeah, and they probably caught other things.
They probably caught fish.
Yes.
I mean,
bugs.
They were in an
anything.
inlet. There
There's,
was,
oh my God. They're
Yeah.
British Columbia, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was forest. Come on, people.
Yes. Bigfoot researcher Paul Byrne cannot accept Ostman's story without more evidence. I need more evidence. Well, Ostman is dead, but I did find a recording of Ostman telling the story.
Aw.
It's so cute. He's got such an
Wow.
old man shaky voice, and he's like telling the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's very sweet. So I'll send you that
I
link.
don't know
too.
why would he, what's to gain from, again, this reminds me of so many stories we've told, Barney and Betty Hill and people with the, like, what's to gain from saving your story and not wanting to sound crazy and then going, hey, I need to just tell somebody the truth of what happened to me. Like, I need to get it off my chest. Like, he's old by now. He's not probably not trying to get money out of it. Like, who's going to pay him for this crazy story, right?
Right.
So why ostracize him?
I don't know.
His imagination.
Yeah. So another thing is, like, there was a famous report that came out in 1957, right before Ostman decided to tell his story, where a man he told the story. He's like, I came across these Bigfoot. This is what they look like.
He probably wanted to validate
and
this
then
person.
Ostman came out and told his story.
Yeah.
And then his description of the Bigfoot were very similar
Oh.
to the first guy's description of the
There
Bigfoot.
you go.
And then people were like, oh,
Oh,
no,
you just-
Ostman made that up.
He just wanted to validate too. Man.
Right? Crazy.
What's the harm in going, okay, we believe what you, like, maybe it didn't, but we could say, okay, well, maybe it did happen to you and what you thought. So
Right. There are also countless stories of Native American women being abducted by Sasquatch, Bigfoot, hairy man, and them mating with these women and producing hybrids. So I came across a couple of weird stories about that.
What?
Yeah. Hybrids. Apparently, and supposedly.
Where would the hybrid live? With humans or with the Bigfoot?
Well, one story is there was, this is in, I read where I was listening to a story that was translated from Spanish. So, you know, who knows some of it, but it was in like kind of Latin America.
Oh, okay.
Countries. And so the story of this one, let's see. This one priest. Okay. So there was a story of this one priest who adopted a hybrid child and kind of kept them in the monastery or the mission with that priest. And so he kind of grew up in there.
Okay.
Most of the hybrid children were cast aside. Some of them would stay with the Bigfoot. Some of them, they just weren't talked about. They were just kind of hushed and pushed aside. But they weren't ever killed or harmed because they were human. Mm-hmm. There was a story that I came across where they did kill one of these. They think it was a hybrid or it could have been a pure Sasquatch. But because in this Latin American society, they regarded them as human. They're like, these are, you know, they're very human-like. And so they were very upset that they killed they thought it was an intruder because they were, the creature was coming in, or the Bigfoot was coming into their homes and stealing things from the people because they just felt that comfortable in that society, I guess.
Okay.
They were coming in and stealing things. So the Bigfoot was shot. So unfortunately somebody shot Bigfoot because they thought it was an intruder.
Yeah.
But they never produced the body or showed the body to anybody because they're like, we killed a human.
Right.
Right.
Because you did.
Yeah. Because it was so sacred to their society.
Man.
They were like, no. Right. So we never saw the body.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's that story coming out of Central America.
Okay. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. They really are. They're everywhere. Okay. I have a bunch more things that I might just talk briefly about, and we will leave these links because we're starting to run long.
Okay.
We will leave these links
Yes.
in so you guys can check out these stories and see what you think.
Yeah.
This one is a CBS Boston News report from about 9 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Ronnie
That's
LeBlanc, whose name might sound familiar to you because he's a Bigfoot investigator and he is in Expedition Bigfoot, which is a TV series, right?
Okay.
So he had an experience with a Bigfoot when he was a small child in Massachusetts, in the Boston area, and in the Leominster State Forest, aka known as Monsterland. So a lot of experiences have happened in this forest, and so he does a lot of hunting then. But since his Bigfoot encounter when he was a small child, he has been hunting and researching Bigfoot and going out. So he's captured a lot of data, a lot of footprints. But I thought this report was very interesting and different because it connects Bigfoot and aliens.
Aliens.
and something else. And I'm not going to mention the other thing, but I'm going to see if you can catch it.
Okay.
Because we've talked about this other thing before.
Okay.
So I'm going to play this video for Nicole.
Oh, I get to watch a video. Mothman.
Yes! Mothman!
I knew it. Portals. Dude, it's all tied together.
It's all tied together.
It's all tied together.
So the clip that I just played for Nicole is of Ronnie saying that he witnessed this ball of light come down and split into two, which reminds you of what?
Mothman.
Mothman. We saw that in the Mothman things.
Yep.
And then it turned into a shadow and ran past them. So his experience is he thought that that was a Bigfoot, but it could be connected to aliens because they've had a lot of UFO alien sightings do coincide with Bigfoot. They happen a lot together. It's a common thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then also Mothman is now tied into this.
Because Mothman is what?
Is the puppy for the aliens.
So what are Bigfoot?
I don't. Kitty cats? I don't know.
Kitty cat. No,
They're
they're the big dogs.
Yeah, the big dogs. Big dogs. Woof.
Woof.
Anyway, I thought that was so cool.
That's
so I had
crazy.
When I came across that clip, I was like, oh my gosh.
I love that that's on CBS News too.
It's on CBS News, CBS Boston
So
News
fun.
Report, right?
Yes.
So it's really cool. We'll include that. You can watch the
Of
whole
course.
report and see Ronnie LeBlanc's encounters with Sasquatch. He talks about those too, but I had to do that. Now, this video is why we decided to do Bigfoot again, because this is recent. This video comes from August 3rd of this year in Yellowstone
I'm sure everyone
National
heard this.
Park.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're going to link the video. If you haven't seen the video, this is Sasquatch sighting. Now, the video is kind of interesting. I already showed it to Nicole, so we're just going to talk about it. We'll link the video in here.
Played over and over and over.
Right. You have to play it over and over again. The video was taken from far away, and you see these two tiny little things moving across the horizon. Mm-hmm. Now, at first, you hear the guy say bear because he thinks that he's captured some bear. I think he was trying to capture some buffalo or something. He was just shooting this vast prairie.
It was like across the Yellowstone. We're cool.
Yeah, it was a huge prairie.
Yeah.
And he's shooting across it. And then at the base of the hill, you see these two figures start to move. And so the guy says bear because he thinks they're bear because they're bear-sized, shaped kind of things. Mm-hmm. But then he notices that they're walking on two legs.
The way they stride.
The way they're moving, and they're moving fast. And the way they're going, they're not moving like bear.
No.
Even though they are the size of a bear, the same kind of coloring as a bear, they're going on two hind legs and they're walking fast.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to see on the video because they are tiny on the video, but watching the movement.
You didn't zoom in. Why wouldn't you zoom in?
I don't know. I would have zoomed in.
So frustrating.
But apparently he showed a park ranger, and the park ranger was like, oh yeah, you caught two Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Good job. So you guys watch the video and you let us know if you think they're Bigfoot or not.
So
I think they're pretty
nonchalant.
cool, right? And then the last video that we're going to include is a long video, but I thought it was really cool.
Ooh.
So this next video is courtesy of Ontario Cryptids from YouTube, and it shows the top 10 videos of Sasquatch found in Canada.
Okay.
So some of the videos are really cool because you can really see Sasquatch. One of them, there was a father and a son that were hunting in the woods, and they were practicing shooting, and then they noticed a helicopter was kind of circling around them, and they're like, why is this helicopter here? Although the footage is not taken from the helicopter, the footage is their own footage that they had set up. And then you can see in the back corner a Sasquatch run across because the Sasquatch was hiding from the helicopter.
Ah! What?
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Another
Are we gonna
video
watch
that
it?
no, well, yes, I'll show you later.
Okay.
So we'll watch them later because it's
Yay.
like an hour-long video. So when you guys have
it's really
time and you
long.
want to
Okay.
watch Sasquatch footage, these video footages are really cool. So she has the top 10 Sasquatch. Some of them we've already talked about, and some of them you haven't seen at all.
Cool.
So it's,
Okay.
yeah, so it's really cool. So
All
I
right.
highly recommend clicking on that link and watching some more Sasquatch videos, and you guys let us know if you think Sasquatch is real or not, because we want to know.
Yes.
You can email us at theominousstitch@gmail.com. You can also find all of these show notes as well as other show notes from previous episodes on our podbean.com account. So if you go to podbean.com and type in the Ominous Stitch podcast. You will find all of the episodes that we've ever posted and all of the show links. And you can also click on a little button in the upper right-hand corner called Become a Patron.
Woo-woo.
You can join our little patron army. We will send you stuff. We will give you shout outs. We will give you some patron episodes. You guys will get to listen to us talk even more. It's so fun.
Yay. That only you can listen to.
Right? Ooh, exclusive content. Woo, woo, woo. So become a patron today. You can also jump on any of our social medias and just give us a quick shout out. Baseline, we want to interact with you. So give us a shout out if you're listening to us today, because we want to get to know you and get to know our community a little bit better.
Who's our patrons?
Our patrons are Mike, and I'm going to include Janet on this. Hi, Mom.
Aww.
Mike and Janet. And then we have Kate and we have Brittany.
Yay.
So our wonderful little patron army. Grow our patron army. Keep this podcast going.
Become a Stitcher.
Become a Stitcher. We want to keep this podcast going for you guys. So the more patrons that we have, the more likely we're able to keep this going.
Yay.
Yay.
Please.
Okay. That is all the Bigfoot talk that I have for today.
Is it really? I want more.
I know. There's so much more,
so much
guys.
more.
But if I kept talking, this podcast would never end. So
I've been trying so hard when we have little breaks here and there. I'm trying to find the one, because there's a million videos on TikTok of Sasquatch if you have TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
But there's this one.
That's a whole rabbit hole.
Oh, there's one specifically, though, where I can't find it, but they're videoing this, tree, and they see, like, it's very still. And it's a Sasquatch. Very much so. But it's so still, and then it slightly moves, and you can see it cradling a small baby. Yeah.
Oh,
and it moves too. And it's just like,
that.
It's very like pronounced.
Oh, how cool.
I wanted to show Angela. I'll find it. But if you see it in TikTok, you guys let us know.
Another one of my favorite videos, and I don't remember if I talked about it last year or if I ran out of time, but there's a video, and this is from like the 80s or 90s. So it is a camcorder video.
Okay.
Right? So not on the phone. There's no special editing. This is like, just a camcorder.
Yeah.
And it's people playing on a playground. But in the background, you can see a Sasquatch with a young Sasquatch, and they kind of throw the Sasquatch kind of in the air. The Sasquatch swings around in the trees and comes back down. So the Sasquatch is playing. Oh. And the way the Sasquatch is moving, it's like people can't swing like that. I mean, it's very monkey-like.
I was going to say, escaped gorillas.
Yeah. So that's a really cool video.
Oh, I'd never seen that one.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
I'll find it
for you.
There's
so many videos.
Why people can't say that they don't exist?
I don't understand.
Blows my mind.
I don't understand.
Right.
How many sightings there are all around the world.
Everywhere.
And how much evidence that people that don't know each other have collected. I'm like, how can you say that this is not real?
Yeah. And I get it. Some are probably hoaxes.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of hoaxes. Yeah.
So that's probably why, but still, not all of them are.
Not all of them are. Yeah.
It's frustrating. Okay. Anyway,
let's move on and let's go on to movie time, because this is one of my favorite movies. I know Nicole's like, this is not a horror movie, but I'm like, yes, it is. So you guys can debate that with us.
Okay.
It's movie time.
This week's movie review is Freaky.
Yay!
Released in 2020, IMDb rating of 6.3 stars, and the synopsis. After swapping bodies with a deranged serial killer, a high school senior discovers that she has fewer than 24 hours before the change becomes permanent.
This is my favorite Vince Vaughn movie.
This one of all Vince Vaughn's. Okay. That's hilarious. Catherine Newton is great too. 2020. It was amazing that this movie came out.
It's a Blumhouse.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a horror.
No, it's got killing. It's got a lot of murder, gruesome. No, it is technically a comedy horror.
Yes, that's my favorite kind.
It was funny because we were like, what movie do we want to review for your episode? She's like, I really want to do freaky. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I know. You're like, it's not really a horror. And I'm like, yes, it is. It's a comedy horror.
Comedy
it's
horror.
so funny.
That's okay.
It's so good.
I'll allow it.
It's along the lines of like Scream. And,
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's horror. It's a serial killer.
No, there's a lot of
He kills
lot of
people.
murders.
There's a lot of murder. He
Yeah.
kills people in creative ways.
Yes.
It's like, what's your favorite murder in this movie?
But yeah, and it's like you said, it's Freaky Friday in a worse way.
It's so fun.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's free on Freevee with ads.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, what's her name? Catherine Newton. She's also in Pokemon.
Yes.
Detective Pikachu. She's in a lot of things. I thought she did really good in this. Vince
Yes.
Vaughn's hilarious
Yes.
too. I recognized Nyla Jones. Celeste
Yeah,
O'Connor?
the friend.
Yeah,
her
I
best friend.
recognized her. I'm actually clicking on her on IMDb. What do I? Oh, yeah, because she's in Ghostbusters. That's right. That's what I recognize her from.
Yeah.
And she's really cute in it. The friends are cute in it.
Yeah.
This whole movie is pretty funny.
It's so good. It's such a fun take on the Freaky Friday concept.
Right.
It's such a fun take on the high school
Yes.
serial killer slasher movies.
But it's also on the stereotypes of high school and, you know, the little girl, the geeky girl, the gay guy, the outcasts and the jocks.
Outcasts,
and
yeah.
It's a funny take on
It's
that.
so fun.
Yeah. The shop teacher drives me insane, obvious. And
He's supposed to. And
Yes.
then he dies with her like slicing him in half on the shop table.
Yes, yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah. The
Alan
shop
Ruck.
Yeah, Alan Ruck. I love him.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And he's been around for a long time too.
Since Ferris Bueller's Day
That's
Off.
right. Yeah. So he's the shop teacher, the annoying shop teacher. It's good. And it's got some heart. You know, you've got this family that's kind of
They're broken after
yes.
the dad dies.
Yeah, they're a little torn. And she does everything what everyone wants to do because she's just trying to keep everything together, and she's picked on at school, and she likes a guy, and
Mm-hmm.
she
She doesn't kiss him, but Vince Vaughn does.
That's what made me laugh so hard. The scene in the car where they're like, it's her crush and Vince Vaughn as Millie, and it's hilarious. I'm like, Vince, and I think he covers the kiss because I'm pretty sure they're not. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, no.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine being being cast
No.
and that kid being like, okay, so in the movie you're gonna kiss Vince Vaughn? It's like,
okay.
what?
Oh man, it's hilarious. But no, it's a good movie. It's pretty funny. Acting is hilarious.
Yeah.
Murder scenes are gruesome.
Yeah, I had to pick something that was way better than the last movie pick. So I was like, I feel very confident in this one because it's so fun.
It's funny.
I love it.
Funny, gruesome.
Yeah. This is one I will watch over and over again because it makes me laugh. And for me, this is like a horror palate cleanser because when we
there
watch
you
like the
go.
really heavy ones,
Sure.
I need to laugh.
Yeah.
Like I like comedies. That's me. I love comedy. I have to laugh. And so this one is a wonderful, beautiful, happy medium.
It's got a hybrid.
Yes. I will watch this over and over again. I will watch all of the Scream movies over and over again because that's my lane of horror.
Got it.
I've got to laugh with.
Well, then we're gonna have to
being
do
horrified.
a review of all the scary movies. Maybe we'll do that as a Patreon episode.
All the Scream movies?
No, the scary movies that are the parodies.
The parodies of the Scream movies? I
Yes.
haven't seen all
Oh my
those.
gosh!
Yeah.
Maybe we'll throw that out as a Patreon episode.
Ooh,
Reviews.
okay.
But anyway, yeah, this movie is hilarious. I'd say definitely go watch it. It is got some jump scares too because you don't know what's going to happen sometimes because everyone's getting murdered. So
Yeah.
that's kind of fun about it. How many stitches would you give it?
We're going to go high. We're going to go like 8.5, 9.
Wow.
Yeah. Hi. I
Look
love
at you.
it. It's fun. It's just fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is fun. I'd give it close to IMDb. I'd say like 6.5, 7.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's higher than what I thought you were going to do. Because I thought you were going to be like, this is not a real horror film. Rawr.
I mean, in general, yes, I would give it to. But yeah, it is technically not a horror. But we've done that before. Like any kind of suspenseful movie, though, I'm going to say it's okay. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vince Vaughn's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
He doesn't speak much because he's a murderer, but until
when
he's Millie. Yeah.
When
that's
he's
true.
Millie, he's just can't stop talking.
Yeah.
And he's so funny. He's so funny.
He channels her very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, go see it, everybody.
Go see Freaky.
Yeah.
Well, this was a super fun episode.
I loved it.
Yay.
Thank you, Angela.
You're welcome. And I love talking about Bigfoot. So,
Yeah.
and it's
We
so
could
hard.
talk all day about it.
And it's so hard for me to focus. You guys, like, I finished all my research, but I couldn't stop.
She
And
was,
so-
came over. She's like, I had my computer open and you came over and I was researching. And
Yeah, I couldn't stop research. I was still going by the time Nicole came over, and I was like, oh, crap, I have to go take a shower.
I love it.
Anyway, so I'm sure we will do more Bigfoot episodes in the future,
Yeah.
especially as
Oh,
more
many
sightings pop up. And I just love Bigfoot so much.
Yay.
I'm terrified of Bigfoot, but I love Bigfoot so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an oxymoron, but that's okay.
So keep hiding, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We'll come find you.
We'll find you in pictures.
Yes. And with that being said, until next time, we'll see you, Stitchers.
See you, Stitchers.